the North Sea raged. Waves crashed against the rocky coast. A storm was brewing, its fury echoing the turmoil soon to grip this corner of the world. The year was 793 AD. On the edge of the known world, a new power was about to announce its arrival. Their hunger for riches and glory would soon shake the very foundations of Christendom. They were the Vikings, and this is the story of their first strike. Lindisfarne, a place of peace, of prayer, of scholarship. For generations, the monks had lived in harmony with the sea. Their days were filled with the rhythm of the tides, the cycle of prayer, the quiet scratch of quill on parchment. Their world was one of illuminated manuscripts and whispered prayers, of faith and learning. They felt safe, protected by the wild sea and their isolation. The monastery stood proud, a beacon of light in a world often shrouded in darkness. Its wooden halls housed a treasury of knowledge, ancient texts meticulously copied by hand, preserving the wisdom of the ages. Life here was simple, untouched by the conflicts brewing in the wider world. But the winds of change were about to sweep across the North Sea, carrying with them the scent of fear and the clang of steel. Far to the north, in the fjords of Scandinavia, a different breed of men prepared for war. The Vikings, fierce warriors and skilled seafarers, were driven by a thirst for adventure and plunder. They were the masters of the longship, swift and deadly vessels that could navigate both the open ocean and shallow rivers. Their dragon-proud ships cut through the waves, propelled by the muscle of hardened men. Their leader, a figure of fearsome strength and cunning, rallied his men. Their eyes gleamed with anticipation. They yearned for the clash of battle, the glint of gold, the thrill of the raid. Lindisfarne, rich in treasures and undefended, was a tempting target. Their plans were laid with ruthless precision. They would strike swiftly, disappear into the vastness of the sea before their victims could raise the alarm. The Vikings landed under a sky the color of ash, their longships, sleek and deadly, sliced through the surf. Like wolves upon unsuspecting sheep, they descended upon the monastery. The monks, absorbed in their prayers, were caught completely off guard. Their world of quiet contemplation was shattered by the brutal reality of the Viking raid. The Vikings stormed through the monastery, their bloodlust matched only by their greed. They ransacked the sacred buildings, their axes smashing through holy relics and ripping apart sacred texts. Gold and silver, precious objects of worship, were torn from their resting places. The monastery, once a beacon of light, was left a smoldering ruin. The Vikings vanished as quickly as they had come, their longships laden with loot and slaves, leaving behind a scene of utter devastation. News of the raid spread like wildfire across Anglo-Saxon England, carried by terrified travelers and whispered rumors. Lindisfarne, a place of such holiness, had been violated. Fear, potent and insidious, seeped into the hearts of the people. The Vikings, it seemed, were unstoppable. The raid on Lindisfarne marked the beginning of a new era. The Vikings, emboldened by their success, would continue their raids, striking terror across Britain and Ireland, and eventually deep into the heart of mainland Europe. The Viking Age had begun. The raid on Lindisfarne in 793 AD was a turning point in history. It marked the beginning of the Viking Age, a period of unprecedented exploration, raids, and conquest. The Vikings would leave their mark on history, their influence felt from the shores of North America to the Caspian Sea. They were ruthless warriors and raiders, but also skilled craftsmen, traders, and explorers. The raid on Lindisfarne opened a new chapter in human history, a chapter filled with both terror and extraordinary achievements.